seems like Spurs are on their way to Wembley after all. I'm Tobey from _Spurs Center, and you're listening to another podcast from Spurs This Week crew. Today I'm joined by Charlie from CB Design. Really recently had a rebranding from his previous N17 Nation.
RIP N17 Nation.
It's a Z instead of a S as well. And then we are also joined by Louis on his return after a lengthy break from the pod. How you guys doing?
I'm good. I'm very happy to return after a good maybe a month, 2 months.
Yeah, it's been a while. How are you, Charlie? How you doing?
Yeah, Lewis, we've missed you. But it's great that you're back now. I'm doing pretty good actually.
Finally came back. Why not?
So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's jump right in. Let's start off with that 2-0 win over Brentford. Immediate thoughts after not immediate, but thoughts after that game? Anything sticking out at you? It was good. I mean,
it was
rather
it was
straightforward win.
Crashing.
I thought Sanchez had a good game, actually. I mean, not fantastic or anything, but decent considering he hasn't been great recently.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Let's jump into our 3-star, 2-star, 1-star system. I'll start off. I'm going to give my 3 stars to Son. I'm going to give my 2 to Dombele, and then my 1 to Reguilon. Louis, you want to go next?
Okay. For me, I'm going to go for Son is 3. I think it's 3. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3's the best.
3-star, yeah. Sissoko, gonna go 2 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And Ndombele for 1 star.
That's a good system.
Yeah.
What about you, Charlie? What are you thinking on that?
I'm gonna go. I mean, I can't. So I'm gonna. How can you give Son 3 stars if he was only on the pitch from he only came on?
But
he scored, but I know he scored, but
he was on for 80.
Oh no! Wait, sorry. What am I talking about? He was on for the whole game. Sorry, I'm mixed up. So
Charlie, that's a load
I'd still give in Ndombele 3 stars.
Mm-hmm. He had a good game.
Then I'd give. Let me just think. I think then I'd give Son 2 stars, and then it's between Højbjerg and Aurier was pretty good, but Højbjerg. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Højbjerg.
Mm-hmm. Aurier back in the side, thanks to Doherty's second yellow card in that Leeds game. Do you think Aurier will be back into the squad after his kind of sideline period, thanks to that penalty he gave away against Leicester? Do you think Mourinho's going to start re-involving him, or do you think he's banished from the squad? Charlie, how about you take that one?
I don't know.
Well, wait, can you just say it again?
Yeah, well, do you think Aurier is going to start being involved again, or do you think he's
I think he will. I mean,
red card?
Well, yeah, I think he will. Doherty wasn't too bad today against Marine, but I mean, I still think Aurier is superior, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. As long as Aurier keeps playing like he did before the Leicester game, he was exceptional. So hopefully he can find that.
Yeah,
again.
But even the Leicester game, I mean, people are giving him it was one mistake. Like, I understand it was a stupid mistake, but the way we played, we would have probably lost anyway. I mean, we were shambolic out there.
Oh yeah,
so
we would
really,
have lost.
I think so people are just giving him unneeded criticism at this point, and Jose was way too harsh on him. It's good that he gave him that chance against Brentford, and I think he was pretty good against Brentford. So yeah.
I thought he was decent against Brentford. I didn't think he was exceptional, but he wasn't terrible either. He just had a pretty average game. But moving on from Aurier, Sissoko with a header, with a goal. How long has it been since we've been able to say something like that? He now has more goals in 2021 than he did all of 2020. which is a interesting stat, and is our tied third highest goal scorer in 2021, I think. Now that Vinicius has his hat trick and Kane, our son, has scored 2, I think, and then there's a number of players tied on 1. But I mean, ultimately, Spurs got the job done, got the 2-0 win, moving on to the final, which will be our first final since the Champions League disappointment against Liverpool in 2019. So hopefully we can move on from that. I mean, there's a lot of new players in the squad who weren't even a part of that, so they won't have that skeleton in their closet per se. What do you think of the VAR controversy with Ivan Toney scoring the offside goal for Wolves? A lot of people complaining, saying he was on the floor and it wasn't giving him an advantage. Louis, you can start with this one.
It was 100% offside.
I mean, ultimately he was offside, and people saying like, oh, his he was on the floor, so how is that an advantage? But ultimately his positioning gave him the advantage because he was in front of Sissoko. So when Lloris tipped that header from the other player, he was in a better position to just put it in the empty net. Versus if he had been in line with Sissoko probably would have been able to cover in a better way. So
yeah,
I don't think it's really fair for people to say like, oh, that shouldn't have been called offside. Especially, I mean, Spurs have had a lot of things go against them recently, or since VAR has been introduced. So I don't think it's totally validated for them to people coming after saying the game is ruined because of that call. But how are we feeling going into the final against Man City? Charlie, you want to talk about this one?
Well, to be honest, I think I would have rather had United because, yes, both Manchester teams have gotten much better since we last played them.
That's true.
But I mean, United is obviously not as good as City. Like Ruben Dias and Stones are looking absolutely amazing right now, and I'm just worried. I don't think we'll be able to break them down like we did, and I think they'll take their chances much more than they did against us. So, I mean, I want to be confident, but I'm not going to say that we're going to win it yet or anything, because I don't know. But it's really annoying as well because this trophy means nothing to City. They've won it 3 times.
Yeah.
The fans have hardly said anything about getting into the final. But for us, this means so much, and it's just annoying that they could take it away from us and they won't like hardly celebrate it. And if we won it, we'd be like so happy. It's really hard to think about, but hopefully Spurs are going to Wembley and we are gonna win it. So
someone's
with the cup, the year ends in one.
If only we had Ricky Villa with us. If only.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be cool if he came back from the dead. Well, not from the dead. He came back. He came back to playing, meant to say.
But I mean, ultimately, we had a pretty good track record against City these past few years. I mean, knocking them out of Champions League with that eventful, shall we say, 4-3 loss at Etihad, which ultimately was a win, I guess, and a draw. But and then winning against them again this season, the 2-0 win, beating them last season with a 2-0 win. I remember a few seasons ago when we beat them 4-1. So I mean, we have had a pretty good record against them. I think we've only lost against them once in the past 6 games. So not counting the 4-3, because I'm counting the 4-3 as a win because we were playing for it. We were like pushing to score a 4th. But I mean, City should be equally scared of us. I mean, Kane and Son are absolutely on fire. Steven Bergwijn will hopefully find some goal scoring form by the time we get there. Højbjerg has been a rock. Dombele has been the best midfielder in the league. Winks is finding some form.
Wait. Let's talk a bit about the Højbjerg injury, the Silva tackle.
Oh yeah, that was I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it was on purpose. It was just he was trying to do like a pocket turn, and he threw his foot out, which is what you have to do that, and it was accidental. But it was a red card. I mean, that was dangerous play, which endangering the opponent's safety. So I think it has to be given as a red card. What did you think, Charlie?
Yeah, well, I think it was unlucky for the Silva. He really didn't mean to tackle him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's lucky that he didn't break his leg. So, I mean, it depends how you look at it. But there was really some really nice words on Twitter from Højbjerg to help the Silva. But let's not talk about the Brentford.
Actually, before we move on, let's look at our comments from the Brentford game. Looking back on it, so we only have 3. I guess I haven't been as active. But from he told me how to pronounce this. He sent me a message. But from GHATTAS_period_, we gonna win, obviously. In reference to the final.
Shout out to him.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident, but it's not obviously, I don't think. I mean, it's going to be a tough game. We're going to have to play the counter-attacking football that Jose Mourinho is so expert at. And it's going to take us not getting any key players injured, because if Kane or Son get injured, it's going to be a really tough final. But hopefully Vinicius or Gareth Bale can step into that first team if either one of them gets injured, and or Lucas Moura even, and we could be able to move on and maybe not be as effective as we were, but still grind the result. Any other thoughts on that?
Not really.
Nope.
All right, next comment is wake me up before you go. Who needs Bale when you got Sissoko? My question is, when do we have...
To be honest, people have been slamming me a lot about what I've been saying about Bale. But I just... I'm actually really disappointed. Rumors saying that Jose doesn't want to buy him, and rumors are saying that Jose isn't happy with him. And today's performance against Marine, I mean, he could at least score against Marine. I'm not blaming him for anything, but it's not like he's been bad, but he's been so average. We're paying him 250,000 a week. Real Madrid's paying him also 250,000 a week. It's just like, honestly, he needs to step up a bit. Like, I love the guy.
I've got a flipping kit with his name on the back.
But he's kind of he needs to give more put more passion into it.
I've got a flipping name with his kit on. I've got a flipping kit with his name on, and I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah, well,
I think it's just
and Tobey, so you've got a Bale kit as well. So
I do have a Bale kit. I'm not wearing it right now, but I do have it. But I mean, at the end of the day, for Bale, it's doesn't make financial sense to sign him, because if we do end up signing him permanently, what kind of wages is he going to be expecting to be on? Because we're not going to break our wage structure to pay him £500,000 a week.
Not gonna lie, it'd actually be quite class
if we signed him on a permanent. I mean, because if we're signing him on a permanent, that's probably going to be they're going to want 15 million over the summer at least, 15 million or 20 million. So then
we won't sign him. We don't worry, we won't sign him on it. Unless he starts playing better. But even if he does, I just can't see us paying the wages for him, to be honest. I mean, have we? The thing is, I love the guy, and obviously I wanted to stay at Tottenham, but he's not really been crucial this season, except for the Brighton game, and I guess the Stoke game. I mean, he's we could have done all this without him. That's all I'm saying. He needs to make a big impact.
I mean, because we could use that money to invest in other players who could play that role and arguably play it better. I mean, I love Bale. Probably is my favorite player of all time. But he hasn't hit the form that justifies £250,000 a week from the club. I mean, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son aren't even on that. So we can take that money, because I mean, that's how many weeks are in a year? 52. So 52 divided by 4 is 13. So that's £13 million a year we're paying him. And so we could easily invest that plus the 15 million or 20 million that we had set aside to sign him permanently. And then we have 28 million to 33 million that we could spend on him. So I'm sorry, not on him, on a different player like Leon Bailey or Marcel Sabitzer, or Conrad Leimer as our Limer, as Bodie really wants us to do.
You really like Conrad. Oh yeah, Bodie likes Conrad Leimer. I mean, I think
Bodie's a huge fan of him.
But
I haven't really seen him play, but so I mean that just gives us different options.
Yeah. Also, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club National, also in the pod. Samuel.
Samuel, yeah.
He posted the other day, about like Sabitzer's defending.
Oh, defending, yeah, I saw that.
And it looks pretty impressive. Yeah, so I think he'd be a great asset to the club. But me and my dad agree on this. I just don't think we're going to sign or sell anyone. Actually, we're gonna sell Gaza, and Jedson's probably going to go back to Benfica. He was pretty poor today again.
If we sell Gaza, someone we know won't be very happy.
Yeah,
Alice.
But except for that, I can't see any business from us. I don't think we're going to sell Dele or loan Dele. I think he's going to stay, and I don't think we're really going to buy anyone. As Jose said, I mean, yes, it could be mind games, but I don't think we have the money for Sabitzer, and I don't think Leipzig want to sell him until the summer.
Yeah,
I mean that's what the rumors say.
There was
something interesting.
There's links that
yeah.
There's links that Harvey White could be going to my local team, Reading.
On loan?
Yes.
This window or the summer?
I think this window, yeah.
That'd be a good move. I think heading out to a championship team and getting some.
It'd be good for our like. I'm not trying to say that I'm a plastic, but it'd be good for our
for Reading.
For Reading, yeah, because we've got a few quite young defenders, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, if young midfielder like Harvey White, if he could go get some reliable minutes at Reading, I think it makes sense. But
playing in the championship, playing in the championship, which is pretty good.
But if he's not going to be getting minutes, there's no point.
There are also rumors that Dennis Turkin's going on loan.
Where to?
To probably someone in the championship. Same for Jack
I feel bad
Clark,
for
Turkin. Where's Jack Clark going?
Yeah, he could also be going on loan.
Stoke,
where to?
Swansea,
Championship team.
And Middlesbrough, I think, are the 3 teams that are interested. But we're getting a little off topic on the Brentford questions. But just one more thing is that Dennis Turkin, I mean, going into the season, we were thinking he was going to have a kind of big role, playing maybe second fiddle to Ben Davis. And then the signing of Sergio Reguilon really pushed him away from the first team.
It was good.
I mean, Reguilon's been great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have signed him or anything like that, but it just seems like Serkin has less of a future at the club because we now have Reguilon, Davis, and then we have Sessegnon, who Mourinho sees as a left back who's playing phenomenally out on loan at Hoffenheim. So we'll have 3 left backs that are ahead of Serkin in the pecking order. So unless he becomes like a right back or a left mid, maybe, I don't know, he's is unlikely to have a future at the club. But
wait,
going back,
who did you just mention?
Serkin.
Oh, he does have a future at a club. What are you talking about?
I mean, this guy didn't listen to my whole little rant. Reguilon, Ben Davis, and Sessegnon are all ahead of him in the pecking order. So unless he switches his position,
yeah, I know. But Davies, listen, Davies will leave soon. He's been great this. I mean, he's been on and off this season. But average, he's a good backup. But when Sessegnon comes back, he'll be the backup.
Where will he go?
But listen. So when Sessegnon comes back, he'll be the backup. Davies will leave. I like
Where
Davies, but he will leave.
will he go
He's
though?
27 as well. Then when Sirkin becomes like good enough for to be backup for Reguilon, then Sessegnon will move into more of a left winger role, and
I've got a
this all
question.
depends if Reguilon stays at the club. So
Charlie,
That's true. That's a very good point. If Reguilon leaves the club and opts to go back to Real Madrid when they inevitably come calling, Sirkin will have a more of a role in the club because, like you said, Ben Davis, I do think he'll leave. Maybe not this summer, but the summer after, and then that will open up an opportunity for him to play with Sessegnon as our first choice left backs. But that's a really big if on whether or not Reguilon leaves the club, because I mean ultimately no one knows what's going on in Reguilon's head and whether or not he wants to stay or if he wants to leave. So it's Sirkin's future at Spurs is I think it's gonna be riding on whether or not Reguilon decides to stay at the club or leave the club, because I don't think we're gonna have Sessegnon spend all of this time spending an entire season on loan perfecting his role as a left back, and then have him come back to the club and tell him, okay, you're playing this as a season, and then we're going to move you to left wing. Because that's just he's going to have to redevelop certain skills that he's losing because he's focusing on becoming a left back, and then he's going to lose those skills that he's been working on right now so hard to perfect, so that he can become a quality left back, and then have to change his position again to go to a left winger. So I don't see that happening. But going back to that comment, because we never even finished it, after the whole Sissoko Bale song, it said, my question is, do we have the skills to win the finals against Man City? Also keeping in mind that it's in 3 months. And that's from Key with 2 E's, RTI1231.
amazing spelling.
Wow, hopefully. Well, hopefully at that time of the season we'll be top of the league, comfortably top of the league. Kane top scorer, no, Son top scorer, Kane top assist maker.
Charlie.
We're almost to the final of the FA Cup. We're almost to the final of the Emirates of the Europa League, and we will and we beat City. So perfect.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Also, talking about Sessegnon, he's injured. I mean, he's got a slight groin injury.
Got a little bit of it in.
I don't think it's anything dramatic though. I think he was out for that game against Schalke, where it was the first game since he joined the club that he wasn't involved in the matchday squad, and they go on and lose 4-0.
How many questions?
There's one more.
How many games?
There's only one more.
How many games has he played? Say, not questions.
How many games has he played with him? I'm not sure on that. I can figure out. But here, I'll read this next question, and then we can come back to that. Difficult to say who's going to win because Man City have been doing better recently. It will either be a very close game, or we Spurs will get absolutely destroyed. And that's from Elliot SODERGREN.
Did you get sent these questions? Did you get sent these questions?
Yeah, they're in the comments on our Instagram page. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be a close game, or do you think either side is going to pull away with it and win comfortably?
It's a bit early to predict that, but
I mean, I think it's going to come down. Oh yeah, Louis, you go.
Me?
Yeah. What do you think?
Don't know, to be honest.
What about you, Tobey?
Yeah,
I mean,
Tobey.
I think it's gonna injuries are going to be a key factor here. Whether or not Spurs have their full squad to choose from. If we have,
let's talk. Let's act like both teams have their full squad.
Both teams have their full squad. I'm going to go Spurs with a 1 or 2-0 win. Playing very, very defensive football, countering maybe 3 times the whole game with 1 or 2 shots on target, and both of them being every shot on target we have, I'm going to say is a goal.
That would be perfection. And you know what? I'm going to predict this. Bergwijn is going to score the winning goal. It's going to be a banger, and he's going to do it again against City. and he's gonna
That
win
would be
us.
amazing.
So, and everyone, if there's fans this stadium, will everyone?
You heard it first here. You heard it first here.
Yeah, I heard it. Right. So, everyone, we heard it here first. Charlie said that Bergwijn will score a banger. Everyone will go nuts, and we'll party tonight.
Now, are we saying Charlie, are you thinking going into this, Bergwijn's going to be on form? Or do you think he's going to have, I'm going to say by this time, he's going to have scored at least a few goals.
I'm
so do you
hoping
think
he'll score like 3 or 4 goals by then.
So you're saying he won't be on like red hot form, but he'll be on semi good form, better form than he is now, let's say. I think that'd be amazing though. I mean, Bergwijn could really do with the confidence boost.
I think we've discussed City enough. I think we should move on to the Marine game now.
Yeah, good point.
Alrighty. So 5-0 win. Vinicius with the hat trick. Lucas Moura with a free kick.
Well, I think this is the first time I'm ever going to be unhappy with a 5-0 win. I mean,
to be fair, a lot of hate.
More goals.
A lot of hate for the way
that Vinicius celebrated.
Yeah, for some reason.
What does that mean?
No, but he wanted that. He wanted. He rattled the whole internet. I mean,
well, I think it's also. I think every game he scores, he does that. The celebration. That's like he puts his. He crosses his arms. I think that's like a tribute to his mother. So, I mean, people can go after him all they want. At the end of the day, when you score a goal, you celebrate. I mean, that's how it is.
Yeah. To be fair, but you shouldn't really take it too far, and do what.
Yeah, I mean,
in front of the keeper to try and.
He wasn't in front of the keeper. The keeper was on behind him. But I mean, that's his tribute to his mom.
But come on, people are saying it really wasn't that bad a celebration. But he always celebrates like that, and he does it, I think, because of his. It's like a tribute to his mother or something. I don't know why people are giving him.
Oh, he's copying him.
It's so silly. It wasn't, and the other 2 goals he only celebrated by high-fiving his teammates. I mean, what? He scored a hat trick and he hardly celebrated. I don't know why people are doing that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the internet. There's going to be trolls. So just ignore them. I guess.
Haters always going to hate.
Said like Taylor Swift.
The haters gonna hate.
Okay. But
let's talk about Alfie. Alfie is so divine.
Yes, Alfie.
He's gonna be a special player. I am super
excited. You're hearing it here as well. Devine is the future of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Oh, okay. I have a question about this actually. Does Alfie Devine count as one of our own because he played in our academy, or does he not count as one of our own because we signed him from QPR? No, we signed him from Wigan last summer.
Yeah, he did.
The thing is, we signed him from QPR when he was pretty much 15. So
16 this year.
So it depends how you see it.
And then he played. I can't believe we signed him when we were 15. I can't when he was 15. I can't.
Who's our chief scout? Was it Steve Hitchin or something?
I don't know.
Oh, another interesting thing I saw about Devine today
but I think he's for the main team. But whoever the academy scout is, he's a genius to find Devine because I'm telling you, he just looks so elegant on the ball. He's great. But I think he'll be. Hopefully, people won't start comparing him to Messi. I mean, he's not the same position. But we all know what happens when that starts. But
Marcus Edwards with a curse on him.
But he's so good now. It's really frustrating. I'd definitely take Edwards over. I don't know.
I wouldn't take Edwards over anyone.
I don't know. I mean, I definitely take Edwards into our squad.
He had an attitude issue, and I think players with attitude issues don't tend to get very far. I mean, I don't think an attitude issue with Mourinho would bode well. So I don't think it would have worked out with Edwards and Mourinho. I think they would have clashed. So it's probably better that he's out, and we have that 50% sell-on clause. So if Vittoria they just put a 50 million release clause in his new contract. So if someone triggers that, we get 25 million, and then we can use that to invest in someone else. which I think, 25 million I would rather have than having Marcus Edwards back at the club at the moment, at least. Don't come back to this when he's like world beater, winning Ballon d'Ors or something. But back on Devine, when he first signed for the club,
like
Jose
50.
Mourinho went and like to meet him, and so Spurs have had their eye on him since we signed him, and like fast tracking him into the first team and getting him to really develop. And he really does seem to be a special player. So I'm excited to see what he can bring in the future.
Yeah, let's also talk about Harvey White's decent performance.
Yeah,
I thought White had a really good performance, actually. Very similar.
But he got stuck. He got stuck in centre mid.
Mm-hmm.
He got put in centre.
Well, I see him as more of a defensive midfielder than
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think for the academy he plays like with left position, but now he plays more of a midfielder role, and it's working out for him. And also, what I wanted to mention, I mean, these performances, Dele Alli was superb today. I'm really annoyed he came off. I think he would have scored. I mean, it is only Marine, but he really showed some great creativity. And also, Sissoko was great in the first half, but then he came off. And
Sissoko was that great, actually. I thought he was barely noticeable.
Well, he ran a lot, you know. He ran through their defense quite a lot, to be honest. And also, I mean, Doherty was pretty good. I mean, he just can't score, can he?
No, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is I've said this on the pod before.
Pretty decent performance.
Every time Doherty takes a shot at goal, their keeper becomes like prime Buffon or Neuer or Yashin.
Well, I wouldn't say that. He literally gave it straight to Vinicius, but yeah. Also, talking about performances, the one that's for me hard to decide whether it was good or bad, it's on the edge between both, Jedson. So he seemed good on the ball, and he got past players quite a lot. He seemed good on the ball.
His passing was torrid.
Yeah, his passing was torrid, and his shots were, I mean, oh God. He just doesn't have that end product. Like, he's got the skills.
No.
Not much else.
I was thinking watching the game, like I can see what the scouts thought they saw in Jedson. Like he has the ability on the ball, but he just
no. Don't say they thought. He still has skill.
Yeah,
I just
I
actually think he's a good player. I think he's a good player, but it just hasn't worked out. And I wish him all the best back at Benfica, because it just hasn't worked out, sadly. But you know what? Also, I mean, he's not really had much of a chance. I mean, think about it. When Ndombele first came under Poch, I mean, he in his first few games, he was all right. I mean, yeah, he scored against Villa, but he was slow. He was like the first season for Ndombele, he wasn't performing very well. And Jedson's not performing very well. Like if we maybe gave Jedson more time, maybe he'd become much better. Like in Ndombele, I'm not comparing to Ndombele, but that's what it's just a similar situation. But at the same time, I didn't realize back in January how useless the transfer was. Like think about it. We don't need Jedson. We don't need Jedson.
No.
Even if he performs better, we absolutely do not need the man. And
that's why it was such a weird move. Because I mean, we had Lo Celso and Ndombele and Winks and Sissoko and Dele. So we had a pretty solid midfield, and it didn't really make sense that we signed Jedson. So I don't know, but yeah, it was an interesting one because it didn't seem like we needed him, and he obviously didn't go straight into the first team. So I'm wondering if maybe we signed him because Ndombele was having some fitness issues, and Lo Celso had that kind of niggling groin injury, and Sissoko got injured at that one point. So maybe we were just thinking it's just a safer bet to take a player on loan for a year and a half. But I don't know why we would take him for a year and a half. Like that was odd too. But and at the end of the day, I hope he goes back to Benfica and performs well there. But
you never know. That was just interesting. Come back on permanent, because obviously.
Because but Jedson wasn't even starting for Benfica when we signed him on loan, which was another thing. Like, why would we sign him a player who couldn't start in the Portuguese league and then throw him into the toughest league in the world. Like it didn't make sense. But anyhow, let's do our 3-star, 2-star, 1-star for the game today against Marine. So I think the 3 stars pretty obviously has to go to Vinicius. I'll give my 2 stars to Dele, and then my 1 star I'll give to Lucas.
Same.
Mine are Vinicius, Lucas, and you know what? I'm going to give my 1 star to Alfie Devine. Actually, no, I'm going to share it. Alfie Devine and Jack Clark.
Have a star each.
Yeah.
Clark? Did he really do anything?
No, it's just it's good he got some minutes. So.
Yeah. Okay. So what? Also, wanted to mention Vinicius' 3rd goal. No one's crediting how good that finish was.
That was a really good finish.
No, but it doesn't matter. People are saying, "Oh, it's Marine." It doesn't matter if it's Marine or the Premier League. That's still a great finish. His quick thinking to hit it like that, phenomenal. I really rate Vinicius. I really hope we sign him.
Yeah, I hope we sign him as well.
Won't expire.
Yeah, that was an exceptional finish. Lucas Moura, I think Louis was just saying, he had a really good finish as well on that free kick. I was hoping to see a little bit more about Harvey White on the free kicks. He didn't. The few he took, I didn't think were especially great. But I know he's been a real marksman for the U23s on those dead ball situations. So I'm thinking maybe it was just the pressure and the stress playing for the first team. So hopefully the nerves will go away in the future and they'll be able to be a little bit more precise with those. But Harry Kane should no longer ever take a free kick for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I mean, I'd rather sub Harvey White on specifically just to take a free kick. Kane, I mean, he just hits the wall every single time or hits it miles over. So I'd rather have Dyer or Lucas or Son or I don't even know who else could take a Bale if he's on. I don't know. We throw Bergwijn on, give him an opportunity. But I mean, he just seems to really struggle to put those shots on target. So I'm not sure what the best way to do it is, but I do not want Kane to take any more free kicks. I think he's only scored 2 free kicks, I think, for Spurs, one against Sunderland and one against Aston Villa. And both of those were deflected off the wall. So I just don't think it makes sense for us to have Kane on the free kick still.
No, I think Dyer is our best free kick taker.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I swear Kane's taken like 40 free kicks and he's only scored like 1, which was a deflection against West Ham in 2015.
Oh yeah, it was West Ham.
That wasn't West Ham, it was Aston Villa.
Oh yeah, it was Aston Villa. Yeah, but anyway, I think he scored 1 against Sunderland too, I think, but that was deflected off the wall as well. So he hasn't been great on those situations.
I wish I could take Eriksen back just for the free kick.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'd rather take 17-18 Christian Eriksen back. If it's 19-20 or 18-19, he missed all of those. I mean, I think he scored like 1 or 2.
No, he scored 2 or 3. But
okay, 2 or 3. But like 17-18 Eriksen, I think he scored 2 in one game against like Swansea. So
you know what I don't understand? Why don't we give Lo Celso a bit bigger chance from free kick?
That's true. I mean, he seems like a player who would have
pretty
better
good. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. But I have to say, I'm really glad that Christian Eriksen is
clearly Dyer has trained free kicks in has trained a lot for free kicks because he always seems to be ready to take it. But I mean, remember that video from Spurs, sadly before the Champions League final, when they were taking free kicks in Madrid or something? I can remember that. I can remember how sweetly Dyer struck one ball and it went cleanly into the top corner. Why can't he do that for?
I don't know. He had that one amazing against Palace, and it was a great save. from Vincent Gaeta, I think is how you say it. But let's see. I want to double check to see if there's any comments on this. All right, yeah. I don't know. All right, no comments for the Marine game. So anything else to add to the Marine game, or shall we move on to previewing Aston Villa?
Well, I wouldn't call it a
Charlie?
preview for Aston Villa because Aston Villa won't happen. Let's talk about why it's not happening.
We'll get called off.
Okay, I'm gonna be pretty annoyed if it gets called off, because if they're allowing Aston Villa to play their U23s against Liverpool, and then they're gonna make us postpone, I think that just shows like if there is like that proves that there is like a Liverpool, Man United maybe agenda within the Premier League. Because why would they make Liverpool or why would they make Aston Villa field their U23s against Liverpool, and not postpone it, and then make us postpone it instead of playing their U23s as well, or their first team if they're healthy again? I don't think that makes sense. If they're going to make us postpone, they should have made Liverpool postpone as well. It's just not fair. So I mean, and the rule is if you have 14 players from your first team or your U23s combined, you field the team. And Mourinho said in a press conference recently that there was a couple times Spurs thought they were going to have to include some U23 players because of COVID, but ultimately it worked out, so we didn't have to. But I don't see how the Premier League can, in good conscience, postpone the Spurs game without revealing some sort of agenda for Liverpool. I don't know. What do you think on that, Louis?
It'll get cancelled because obviously, why would we want to play against someone called Louis Barry and stuff like that, and they have like a bunch of numbers like 69, 70.
No, I'm annoyed though. Like, I don't understand why the Liverpool are allowed to play Aston Villa. But how, if they're allowed to play Aston Villa?
It was something called the FA Cup draw, you mong.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they should be. There was not a single first team Aston Villa player. Not even El Mahamadi. No one. Not even their worst first team player was there. Their whole first team clearly has corona, and they need to play their whole under 23s against Liverpool. What? How come they're allowed to do that against Liverpool, but they can't do it against us? Like, what difference should it make if it's the Premier League FA Cup? I don't want to play their youngsters because it's disrespectful, to be honest. I want the game to be postponed, but I mean, it'd be perfect if the Fulham players have recovered, or at least enough Fulham players have recovered, so they can reschedule the Fulham game, so it's on Wednesday where the Aston Villa game should have been. That would be perfect, but they won't do that.
When does Fulham play their Premier League game though? Because aren't they supposed to?
I don't know.
Play as well. Fulham, they play Friday, so if they could postpone Fulham's Friday game to say Saturday or Sunday, then we could play Fulham on Wednesday, and I guess that would make sense. Hold on, when Fulham play their FA Cup game? Let's see. Okay, so Fulham played their FA Cup game yesterday, so they should have enough resting time, considering that we played our FA Cup game today, to play us on Wednesday, and then postpone their Friday game to Saturday or Sunday. I don't think that's a fair way to go. But it would annoy me that the FA decided to let Liverpool play a U23s team, and I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's we're lucky because no one has tested positive for us yet this season. So
that we know
hopefully it will stay like that.
That we know of, though, because I feel like wasn't there a period where Lo Celso was out? I feel like he might have gotten COVID. and then there was a period where Lucas Moura and Vinicius were just gone for no explanation.
No, Charlie, you're wrong there. There was a bit of COVID. In the summer, in like June time. Apparently, it would have been Aurier.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I think it was Aurier.
Yeah, but there was
also
count. I mean,
not during the season, I guess. But there was also a time.
As long as Kane and Son don't get it, I'm fine. Also, let's talk about Lloris downright rejecting his Spurs contract, according to
rumored.
Yeah, rumored.
I don't know if that's true, because if it is true, then that's concerning.
But let's talk about that, because if he has rejected it, that means he will leave at the end of the season. Or I mean, if he doesn't sign a new contract. Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. Surely that means that he's confident. That he will win a trophy with us this season, because I know him. He loves the club. I'm sure he can't leave until he wins something.
He's been here for like 8 years. He joined in 2012, and he joined in 2012, and he didn't really get.
He's one of the best captains we've ever had. I mean, if he does leave, Højbjerg will take over as captain.
Apart from Ledley King,
I've seen a lot of people saying that Højbjerg should take over captaincy once Lloris left, but surely Kane should be in with the shout.
No way.
Højbjerg.
Kane.
Between Højbjerg and Kane.
Okay, sorry.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I think Kane should definitely be in with at least a shout of being captain. He's been our co-captain, like a vice captain, I guess, for a long time.
It was him, Vertonghen, and I can't remember who else.
Yeah, it was him and Vertonghen were like the vice captains for a long time. So I think that Kane will be given the captain's armband should Lloris leave. In summer, I really hope Lloris doesn't.
When Kane or Lloris don't play, Ben Davies took it tonight. Well, I don't know who take.
Ben Davies has captained us a few times this season, and then Bale took it after. Davis went off, but I think Højbjerg could definitely be like our vice captain, taking over Vertonghen's role as the vice captain. But Kane will be 28 going into the next season. So how many years left of starting does he have in him? Like 3 or 4 years, maybe. So then maybe after that, Højbjerg takes it if he's still at the club. But I mean, we definitely have a lot of options in terms of leaders within the club. I mean, Serge Aurier is captain of Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, and Bale is captain of Wales. Davis has been captaining us for a long time. Kane captains England. I'm sure I'm forgetting others too.
Well, Kane and Henderson are both captains of England.
And Lloris is captain of France. I mean, he's our captain right now. So we have a lot of options in that way. Sonny is captain of South Korea. So we have a lot of options in terms of leaders. So I'm not as worried about that as I'm worried about who would replace him. So who would you have replace Lloris as our starting goalie? Would you have Joe Hart start?
I'd have
actually Gazaniga.
You know, this is going to sound controversial, but I'd have Nick Pope.
Nick Pope.
Actually, not Gazaniga.
I think he's a great keeper, Nick Pope. I mean, he does so well for a team like Burnley. I mean, surely.
Yeah.
He could do well for us. But then again, Donnarumma would probably be more like, Donnarumma's pretty unrealistic.
Kepa.
What?
Whoa, no.
Well, my ideal option would be Mike Maignan from Lille. I think he's great.
Kepa, actually not Kepa. Scrap Kepa. I'd get Ruffier from Ruffier. Ex-PSG.
I've never heard of him. Where does he play?
Ex-goalkeeper.
PSG.
I don't know if he plays PSG anymore, but he used to.
I'm thinking of like I mean, these are all good options, but I've been thinking about this a lot, which is why I threw out the question. But I'm thinking we tend to sign keepers like long term, like rather than a short term fix. So I was thinking about Ilan. I think that's how you say it. Ilan Meslier from Leeds. He's only 20. I thought he's really played really well in the Premier League this season. And then Gianluigi Donnarumma from AC Milan, I think would be another great long-term option. And there was a third person I was thinking of. I'm blanking on it. I'll come back to it in a minute. But I think the two really solid options to replace Lloris, and then also be a long-term solution for the club.
Who's dogs?
But what would you guys think about either one of those as signings?
Don't know, to be honest. Who's signing?
Ilham Mizner from Leeds. I don't know. I think I've been really impressed with him, and he's only 20, so he would have a long time to sort of like develop, and also be someone for the here and now. He's only been at Leeds for a season, I think. I think they signed him in January of last year.
Probably.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, those are the. I had a third person I was thinking of, but I can't remember.
We're going to end the episode here. We've been looking for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah.
Anything else you were thinking about?
Nope.
Charlie?
Not really. I think we've discussed a lot today, so I think I'd leave it there.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Well, thank you for listening. This has been another episode of Spurs This Week. I was Tobey from _Spurs Center, or I still am Tobey from _Spurs Center, and I was joined by Louis from Spurs_fan.page_, and Charlie from CB Design, Z instead of an S. Thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our Apple Podcasts, leave a good rating. We would really appreciate that.
Actually, I'm going to rate it.
And follow our Instagram. Spurs This Week. No capitals, no periods, no underscores, or anything like that. Just plain Spurs This Week. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to the podcast, and come on, you Spurs.
Cody Spurs. I just